All right. I'm sure we've done something like this at this point. So let's go over what today's algo objective is. So given a sorted array of integers, all right, dedupe the array. Is that a word? Well, we're going to find out. Dedupe means remove the duplicates. Because array elements are already in order, all duplicate values will be grouped together. So let's look at here. The expected array input is all ones because they are all duplicate values. The expected return is going to be an array with just that number 1. The second one here has 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So the expected result should be 1, 2, and 3. And I'm sure you are understanding the pattern by now. 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. We only want to see an array of each integer value only once. Okay, and then this one here is just the same as the beginning. So like I said, I don't think this one's going to be a brain buster. You guys totally got this. We got this. All right, anyone have any questions about today's function? Okay, all righty. I'm posting it in the Discord now. Let me go ahead and do that before I send you guys off into groups, because I know I forget that sometimes. Let's go ahead and do that now. If my keyboard wants to work. Okay. Do you ever just think you know a keyboard shortcut and you actually don't, and then you just kind of make your computer go crazy? I do that all the time. In fact, I'm doing it right now. So let me stop doing that and I'll send it in just a second. I'm gonna stop my share, pause the recording. We're back, everyone. So thank you for your hard work. Now, who would like to present their solution or something even close to what they think is a solution? Any volunteers? Oh, come on. No need to be shy. Let's get this over with. Somebody present here.
I can I volunteer.
Thank you, Nian.
So Austin and I, we went through different approach. So the first approach is using without the include methods. So it's basically like brute force. So the first thing I did is to check if the numbers array is empty. If it's empty, then return the original array. And then I make an empty dictionary here and also an empty expected array. So I push the first element of that numbers array into the expected array and then make that first element as a key and assign a value 1 to that key. So in the for loop, in this loop through the each element in the numbers array, and the if statement here says go find the key in that dictionary. If that key doesn't have a value 1, then we know that element is not in the dictionary. So we put that key into the dictionary and assign a value to 1. And then we push that number into our expected array.
Very
And the second approach is was Austin's idea. He basically create expected array as an empty list,
mm-hmm.
and in this for loop, he this for loop iterate through each element in the numbers array and find if expected array already has the element in the numbers array. So if not, the element got pushed to the expected array and return the expected array.
Okay. Now, can I ask you something? I like these solutions, by the way. I want to just comment on a couple things. What does the dot includes method do?
Mm,
Could you hover over it with your mouse?
this one?
Yeah, so there it is. So it determines whether an array includes a certain element, returning true or false as appropriate. So this method here, dot includes, is an inbuilt JavaScript method that's meant to uh, take in a value and then use that value to examine an array to see if that array has that value. So see how it says expected array dot includes. So we're saying add this method, this function that checks this array or whatever array that we're asking, expected array, and then we put in nums at I. So every iteration as we go through the for loop, it's giving that value, it's checking to see if it's there. Now I want to ask one more thing. Just based on what you're seeing here, how does the method dot includes work? How does it work? There's a hint in that description there if you can find it. But how do you think how would you presume that this works? How would a method like this? A for loop. Do you see right there it says the element to search for? So it's a for loop. So the method includes is actually a for loop within your for loop, right? Because it's a
Mm-hmm.
method that is a for loop inside the for loop that starts on line 68. But other than, that's not to say it's wrong or anything. I'm just trying to say what it is in case we are looking at it for the first time and have not used it yet, to be sure. Okay. And then a method dot push, I know we know what that is because that's a method to go ahead and push stuff to an array. All right,
Mm-hmm.
I really like this solution. So what we do here is we save to a value all the times that we read that number for the first time. And then as we continue to read through our original list, if we have that value in our expected array, if we had saved that number already, then we say, oh, don't push it, right? Just continue reading, right? Only push the
Mm-hmm.
ones that are new. And that's what we did here originally with this dictionary. It's a little bit more wordy, but what's the difference between an array and a dictionary? An array holds values and it sorts them by index. A dictionary holds values and it sorts by key value pair, right? Is that exactly, James? So we're just checking here. Now we're just giving a value to the key of that of number. So we're saying each number, give it a value of 1. If that value for each key that we may encounter doesn't have 1, then we go ahead and add it, right? Any questions for this group or of the explanations we gave so far? Please don't be shy to ask. There's no dumb question. Okay, I'm looking through the comments here, which is faster. I have a question. I haven't really tried to delve into complexity or anything. So, okay, I don't exactly know the answer to this one, but my guess would be that the dictionary would be faster. The dictionary, I would assume, be faster because the second version is a for loop within a for loop, and you're looping through your expected array every time you want to check to see if that value is in there. Okay, so that is a for loop within a for loop. I don't think there's that amount of search time that goes into a dictionary uh, check to see if that value is in there because it's already stored by the key value. So it's going to check that key. It knows exactly where that key is if it exists, and it's going to give you that value right away as soon as you check the dictionary. But if you save it to an array like we have on line 66, every time you want to check to see if that value is in the array, you're going to have to loop through it. And you're going to loop through it within another for loop. So there's that loop for loop within a for loop. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I wouldn't mind being corrected by another instructor's input here. But I think that's the answer. I'll do a little research to double check that and confirm it. I always imagine index like a hotel concierge checking each room from the start, whereas a dictionary is like a I don't know how to pronounce concierge with the room in the center of all the rooms and goes straight for the right room. Yes, that's a good way to say it. So imagine um, someone going through and checking each hotel room. You have to kind of go through the work of, hello, is anyone here? Nope. Hello, is anyone here? No. Instead, if you know the room that you would expect the person to be in there, you just go straight to that key value, check if they're there. Okay. Alrighty. So what I want is well let's before I wrap this up. Does anyone else have a solution they would like to present? And thank you again, Nian, for presenting. Your group did great. I like that you guys had multiple solutions. Fantastic. All right. Any other groups? Okay, then I think it's fair enough. Let's go ahead and end this algo session. Thank you guys again for participating. Now I want us to go ahead and leave this behind for the day and focus now on our assignments. Okay, so don't worry if we didn't get the solution. We had the workout, and that's what counts. The solution sometimes is not so important. It's what the problem-solving skill that we're developing that matters. Okay, so don't spend the rest of the day wasting time on this when we have lots of work to do related to Python. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording.